everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the Stitching Colourist with Shelley Lewis. So I do apologise today if I'm talking a little bit lower. I've not been well recently, which I will go into in a minute while we do this colouring chat, and I'm just getting over it now. So without further ado, this video, it's going to be a colouring chat, as I just said. And I'm going to be working on a picture from this new book from the Belba family. Now, this is their new kind of book that they have brought out. It is Heart Mosaic, and it is Animal Friendship, and it's on black background. So it's a bit like the Stone Mosaics books, however, without instead of it being stones, it's actually love hearts. So you've got the back of the book with the 24 colour palette and some samples which are throughout the book. I've recently coloured a picture in this book, so I will show you that picture that I've coloured. Now you've got your front page, your book belongs to, also where you can follow Belba family either on Instagram, Facebook or Pinterest. A bit about the book. So this is the first colour by number book from the Heart Mosaic series, so it looks like they are thinking about bringing some more books out in this series. And it says there are 25 pictures of different animals and birds in friendship. Let's reveal the picture by colouring different heart shapes. Feel the hearts therapy while colouring hearts. This easy, relaxing colour by number book is perfect for every age and skill level. Big and small hearts that coloured in the 25 colour palettes will make the process of colouring relaxing and the result colourful and bright and happy colouring. And this is a page that I recently finished. This is my first page from the book. So you've got little hearts and you just basically colouring the hearts. They've got numbers in. On the left hand side of the book you've got your colour palette for the whole of the book, not just that page. So I coloured this picture. I did this yesterday when I received the book, and I used my Copic markers to colour this page. The reason why I use those is because I've got a little bunch of Copic markers and I hardly use them because to be fair, I'm frightened of using them because of losing ink. Because you can get the refills, but the refills are about over £10 a pop. And sometimes when you've not got that much money, it's a bit, yeah, I can't afford to get the refills yet. But I thought I'd use them for this one and see what it's like. And I'm glad I did, because I'll explain to you in a minute why. So these are what the pictures look like uncoloured. So it's just like a bunch of hearts and you just colour the hearts. The reason why I find brush markers are easy in this, because if you notice some of the hearts, it's good it's on black background, but some of the hearts can be quite close together. And if you're using alcohol markers, my betting is it's more of a risk of a bleed through. But with the brush markers you can get in the finer areas and just lightly do around the sides, so it's much easier. So I'm not going to do a flip through of the book because you won't be able to tell what most of the pages are. So it's the reason why I thought I would do the colouring chat instead. So before we do that, on the back pages they've got their normal try other a book series by the Belba family. So you've got the Mosaic colour by number series, colour by number and non-colour by number version, puzzle colour by number clever book series, free colours series, colouring book series, which I don't have that one because I only really stick to colour by number books now mostly, because it's where I find the most therapeutic. We've got the Stone Mosaic series, which they've got a fair amount of now. Heart Mosaic series, which is this one, and it's the first one. And then you've got your Mystery Mosaics book series, which is the 3mm sections. And at the back it's got here notes, ideas, colouring chats and body colours. So I guess we'll make a start on this picture. Now I'll just adjust the camera and line it in a bit, and then I thought we can have a chat. Yeah, you'd have seen my post the other day where I filmed a video, and it was, before we go into that, I'll just have a look at what colour we need. So we need number 5. I always start from the top. And today, by the way, I'm actually using Tombow markers. So number 5 is pink, so we'll find a pink. So we'll go with this one. So these are my Tombow markers. I hardly use these, and because they're the brush markers as well, I thought they'd be perfect to use. These are water-based markers as well. Did I just... I thought I touched the page. So yeah, we'll make a start. So yeah, the last time I posted a video was Wednesday. It was Wednesday daytime. Just bear with me a minute, guys. I'm just going to see if I can get a little bit more lighting. That's better. I can see the numbers a bit more now. We've got a little bit more lighting. So yeah, Wednesday I posted my last video, which was my recent book haul, because one of the other things I love to do when I'm not crafting is actual reading. I've started reading a lot more now, and I'm just finding that it's relaxing when I don't feel like I quite want to do any crafting. And this year already I've been through, I'm on my 5th book, which is the Marilyn Monroe. So anyway, I filmed that video because I thought I'll probably be busy, so I'm just going to get that video filmed and then it's done, and I can film another one in a couple of days. Well, Wednesday night I was sitting, I think it was about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I sat down on my usual chair with my craft trolley next to me, and I thought I'll get my lines, dots and spirals. I've been working on a dot picture from my Final Destination lines, dots and spirals book, and I was nearly finished with the picture, so I thought I'd get that out and work on that. 10 minutes into working on the picture, I did not feel right. I felt really off and peculiar, didn't feel right at all, and I didn't even have energy to finish this picture, and I literally had a very small square to finish of dots and the picture was done. But yeah, I didn't feel right, and I just said to him, because my husband, he hadn't been well for a while, for about over a week, 2 weeks, and I said to my husband, I'm going to go to bed because I don't feel quite so good, and I just thought put it down to tiredness and that. So I put the book away, I went to bed, and I just started getting worse. I started feeling a lot worse, and I'd never felt anything like it before. Now, I've had the flu. I've had it a couple of times, and particularly one time when I had it was when I worked back in West Midlands, and I was on a night shift at work, and I just went suddenly cold and dizzy. Well, this, I was laid in bed, I just started to feel worse and worse by the minute, and until I started to get this headache. And I'd never felt anything like this headache before. I've had headaches, but this was literally, it was that bad. It was starting to make me feel very nauseated. I could not settle. I got up because I thought, you know what, I'm going to get some painkillers downstairs. Now, I never take tablets if I can. I'm always, not a whole tablet person. I'm just looking for some more number fives. So I'm not a whole tablet person. If I gladly take tablets, you know I'm ill. You know I'm not right, because I'm not a tablet person. So yeah, I started to feel worse to the point where the headache was that bad. Like I said, it was starting to make me feel sick, very unsettled. So, and I started to feel cold. I started to get my body temperature. Felt like it was plummeting, like it was really dropping. And I came downstairs and I said to my husband, I'm just going to get some painkillers because I said I really don't feel very well. And when I was moving about to get the painkillers, my headache, and the nausea, it was really, really bad, really bad. Every time I moved, I was like, yeah, I don't want to move, but I got the painkillers. I went back to bed, and every time I moved, I went to get up, or if I went to go to the loo, I'd feel a little bit sick, and my headache was just horrible. I didn't manage to get much sleep that night at all because I just didn't feel well. And like I said, I've had headaches, but I'd never had one quite like that. It was like, I said to my husband, I said, if this is how you feel every time you have a migraine, because I know when he has migraines, it can knock him sick. I said, God, I really do feel for you. Because I said, that was just something else. I've never felt like that. But the next morning, anyway, I got up. And I thought, out of curiosity, I'd had a COVID test left over from ages ago. And I thought, because I still didn't feel well the next day, the headache had eased off a bit. But I just felt run down in myself. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take a COVID test. It'll probably come back negative. It'll be fine. I'm just curious. However, I took the COVID test and it came back positive. So I tested positive for COVID, unfortunately. So yeah, unknown to me, the reason that the whole thing that explained why I felt unwell is because I had COVID. I've never had COVID before. It's the first time I've ever had COVID, and trust me, I'm not complaining that I've not had COVID. I've done quite well to escape from it up to yet. Well, up to the other day anyway. But yeah, I tested positive for it. It's been difficult the last week because ideally when you've got COVID, I'm not sure what it's like overseas now, but apparently if you do have COVID now, as long as you've not got a temperature or wherever, you don't have to self-isolate anymore, which I obviously wasn't well. I couldn't I couldn't do it. I couldn't self-isolate because I still had the kids to take to school and back. However, I did take precautions. I sanitised my hands. I tried to stand away from people as possible. Because for people that, if you don't know, obviously me and my husband are together. Unfortunately, he suffers with severe anxiety and depression. He suffers with his mental health. And he hasn't been out of the house in 6 years this year. So we worked together on this one. I still had to go and do the school runs and that. However, when I was at home, my husband, bless him, because he's just got over not feeling well himself, he looked after me, he did. He advised me to get sleep when I can. So that's exactly what I did. As soon as I dropped the kids off at school, I came back home and I got back into bed, and I would sleep until lunchtime. I'd get up, have a bit of a bite to eat, ready to get the kids back from school. So yeah, it's been like that for a week. Luckily, I didn't have the bad headaches since the night it started, which was last Wednesday. But obviously, I've had like cold symptoms. My body temperature has been up and down. It's fine now, but when I'd go back to bed and I'd settle down, my temperature would just, I felt it just dropping. And then it'd come up again, and I felt like it'd stabilise a bit, but then after a little bit it'd plummet again, it'd drop again, and then it'd stabilise a bit, and that's what it was like for about 2 days. So it was on and off like that. So yeah, I've been taking Lemsip capsules for it. I think they have been helping a lot. So they've done a lot of good. They have helped. Unfortunately though, during this whole thing of me having COVID, my abscess on my tail spine, the bottom of my spine, had flared up again. So as well as having COVID, I also had my abscess flare up, which was making me feel so uncomfortable to basically sit upright. And obviously that's why I made the post the other day saying it may be a couple of days until I make another video, because the last 2 days I was fit for nothing. I would have been no good at recording a video. Not to mention I couldn't sit up properly. But yeah, that had flared up again. I'm currently on a waiting list to have a small operation done. Because when I went to the doctor's when I had antibiotics for it last time, she did explain that there was a condition for it. And she said because of how many times I've had this reoccurring abscess, it's best to probably go down the surgery route now. She said I may be on the waiting list for a while, but at least I'm on the list. So yeah, I'll be having surgery done on that maybe sometime this year, to hopefully rectify that, so I don't keep getting this reoccurring abscess, because it can be painful and it's not nice when it does drain, when it decides to drain. So self-care after. So I had to have a couple of hot baths, and yeah, sure enough it drained, so that's gone down a bit now. But obviously as well, while I had the COVID and the abscess, a couple of days before I tested positive for COVID, I dropped the kids off at school, came back home, and I don't know what I did. I just went to put something in the cupboard after doing the shopping, and my hip went my back, and I was like, oh God. I do apologise, guys, if you've come for a friendly, happily chat to cheer you up and all of them. Oh yeah, that's how the week's gone for me, unfortunately. My back went, and I had got a trapped nerve. And of course, doing the school runs with a trapped nerve in your back is not good. But I had to do it. I was oohing and wincing. I was like, oh, walking down the road, because every step that I took, it was painful. But luckily it was only like that really for one day, because that started to... I thought it's probably just a trapped nerve, it'll work its way out. And luckily enough, it did start to work its way out. So, yeah, that's the week I've had. It's not been a very good week, unfortunately. A couple of days ago, I thought, obviously when I found out that I'd got COVID, I thought I'm going to test the whole family because obviously we're in close proximity. And my son's due to go on his first night away tomorrow on a school trip. So I thought I've got to test everyone to make sure we're all right. So this was, I think it was, might have been Friday evening. I tested everyone and touch wood, everyone was negative, obviously minus me. I tested myself again and again. I was positive. So all weekend I've been trying to, I've been in the same room. It's physically impossible to try and cut yourself off, so to speak. But I've had to lessen the hugs. We've just done elbow bumps instead. I've just been like that, being very precautious. Luckily, I've got lots of hand sanitizer at home from the before, so I've just been continuously sanitizing my hands. My husband's been doing the cooking, obviously, minus yesterday, where because obviously he doesn't sleep very well at all. We did order a takeout because he just wasn't up to cooking. So yeah, and I started to feel better with it. I have still felt a bit groggy, tell you the truth, not completely 100%, but I have started to feel better. So this morning, because today my son is doing the cooking soup at school, they're doing a soup taste session where parents can go into school and taste the soup that the little ones have, well, say little ones, he's 10 now, to say that what they've been cooking to test it out. My son's been really excited about it, about Mum coming into school and tasting his soup that he's made, and he especially requested carrot and coriander because he knows that's what I like. So obviously I explained to him yesterday, because I said Mummy's had, like, obviously COVID. I said, I'm going to do another test tomorrow, and if it does come back positive in the morning, unfortunately I'm not going to be able to come into your classroom because that wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be ethical of me to sit in a room full of kids with COVID and parents. So I said, if that's the case, see if you can bring some soup back with you. I'll give you a little pot and just explain to the teacher why I'm unable to come in, and see if you can bring some back with you. So I tested myself this morning, but thankfully I'm negative. Yay! So I no longer have COVID, which is good. It is really good because it's frustrating when people rely on you, they need you, they rely on you not to do things, they rely on you in everyday life. So you have to look after yourself to be fit so you can do these things and go out. And obviously when people do rely on you and you're not well yourself, it's frustrating and you feel like you're letting them down when you have to keep going. So I'm just really glad now that I am negative, that I am definitely on the mend, because I can get back to me proper duties and going out and doing what needs to be done. So now I'm negative, obviously I can go and taste the soup. So it's going to be a busy day today because we've got the soup tasting, so I've got to go to school early. But also it's my son's Valentine's disco at school today, so we've got to pick my son up, my daughter, quickly take my son to the nearest cafe or whatever to get him dressed, because it's a waste of time coming home, because the party's at 4 and I don't get home till 3:45 sometimes from picking the kids up from school. So it's a waste of time coming home. We wouldn't have time. So I've got to quickly get him dressed, take him back to the school for his disco, come back home to drop my daughter off because it had mean waiting around for an hour, and I'm not doing that. So I'll have to bring my daughter back home. Then I've got to go back out and go and pick my son up for when he finishes his disco at 5 o'clock. Yeah, so it's busy today, but I've got to do more or less the same thing tomorrow because it's my daughter's disco tomorrow. However, my son, obviously, when he goes to school tomorrow, he goes to his science fair, an overnight trip, so I'll be dropping him off at school tomorrow, so I won't have to pick him up because obviously he's away for the night. So I'll be picking my daughter up when she finishes, taking her to the cafe, get her dressed, and take her for a Valentine's disco at school, and then pick her up again at 5 o'clock. So I'm really glad that I'm on the mend now, because obviously if I wasn't, I wouldn't be able to do it, let alone going back and forth. I couldn't have done that anyway because it would have wiped me out, but I wouldn't have been able to, for one, do the son's soup tasting because I couldn't have sat in the class. I couldn't have took them to the disco because, for one, I wouldn't have been able to go to the cafe or that really. I don't know if you're technically able to now, but I wouldn't have felt right doing that anyway. So they most likely wouldn't have been able to go to the discos because I wouldn't have been able to take them and bring them back. So yeah, I'm glad I'm on the mend now. So anyway, yeah, while I've not been well the last week, I've been trying to do some crafts, but not a lot because of the abscess. But I've done a fair amount of reading, and I've started reading now the assassination of Marilyn Monroe, aka a normal name was Norma Jean, and the book is by Donald H. Wolfe. My uncle borrowed me the book and I've started reading it, and it is very, very interesting. At first, when you go into the book, it goes through about when they found her at her home, and obviously the circumstances behind her death, and because apparently it was suicide, but we all know it wasn't, so I won't go into that anyway. But it went into that, but the part that I'm at the book at the minute, it's actually gone into a life story to tell us who Norma Jean really was, who Marilyn Monroe was. And it's very, very interesting. And when I was reading it the other day, it almost got me tearful. It really did, because Norma Jean, Marilyn Monroe, aka Marilyn Monroe, she didn't have an easy life. She really, really did not have an easy life, especially her childhood growing up. She was shifted from home to home, basically, from orphanages, because her parentage had mental health issues, so her mum wasn't able to take care of her. Because obviously times were quite tough then, because it was just before the World War and during the World War, because she was born in 1926. And times were really tough for her, and basically all through her life, I think all she wanted really was a loving home and to be loved. She did. And not feel abandoned like she basically was throughout her childhood. And it was just at that moment, it was really sad reading. 'Cause I was like, it's just really sad. And really do, really felt for her. I did. I'm at the part now where she's a bit older and she's married to her first husband. I can't remember his name now. I'd have to pick up the book to say, but yeah, she it's going through when she was married to her first husband and through World War Two. Sorry, it would have been World War Two. And I can't believe that. Obviously, she was born in 1926. She sadly passed in 1962. So today, if she would have lived, she would have been 98 years old today. You can't believe that, can you? 98 years old she would have been. But she was such a beautiful soul. And I like how the book is describing about her, who she is, who Norma Jean was. Because you think that then, as a person, you don't automatically, when you think of Marilyn Monroe, you think assassination, what happened to her. But reading through the book, you actually get to know the real person, who she was and what she went through. So anyway, guys, we're up to 31 minutes, so I'm going to have to leave it there for now. It doesn't look as if we've got much done, does it? But yeah, it's because I've been colouring slower, because I've been using these. So yeah, I definitely recommend now. I'd say they're as much as enjoyable as Star Mosaics. However, I would say probably a bit more concentration, especially with, say, if you've got two hearts together and the different colours, to take into account when you are colouring. Be careful that the colour doesn't run into each other. As I said, my Copics brush markers work well, so I'd definitely say you could use, to be honest, I can't tell you what to use. You use what you want, you do you. But for me personally, I think the best type of pens to use in this book will be the brush pens, which is good actually, because it means I'll get my Tombos used and my Copics. Now, I probably should have put a page protector behind this one, but I didn't. But luckily nothing's gone through at the minute. Before I do any more, I probably will put a page protector behind. So yeah, I love the book. I do love the new concept of heart mosaics. So I do hope, oh God, I've still got you zoomed in. Oh, that's too much zoomed out. So yeah, I hope the Belba family do bring out more of the heart mosaic series. It'd be quite fun to work on, because I love these star mosaics. So yeah, I will love these. So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm sorry it wasn't a more jollier discussion. Yeah, this week, like I said, it has not been the best, but hopefully this week will start to pick up. So yeah, I'm doing a lot better now. Thank you if you commented on the post I made. Well wishes, I really do appreciate it. It's never any fun being ill, is it? It never is. But yeah, hopefully on the mend, touch wood. Touch my head, touch wood. So hopefully on the mend now. So if you do have any lovely comments or anything, just drop them in the comments section below, or if you have any questions, or if you do enjoy the video, please feel free to press like, like on that like button on the video. I'd really appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, then please consider subscribing. That would mean a lot to me. I really do appreciate every single one of you. Even if you do come in and watch the videos, just pop in, or if you're listening to the video while you're working on your crafts, because sometimes even I do that. I'll watch videos and I'm not necessarily watching, I'm more listening while I'm working on my crafts, but I find it relaxing the same. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get going now. Thank you so much for coming in, popping in on the video and listening to me. It's very much appreciated, and I will see you again soon. Oh, I just want to say as well, thank you to the Belba family for sending me this book. I really appreciate it as always. yeah, so very much appreciated. So I'm going to get going now and I'll see you again soon. So goodbye for now, guys. Bye.